Please video like and subscribe this channel. The first time I laid eyes on the alien princess, I had no idea that a single moment, no more than a heartbeat, would erase the life I knew and replace it with a destiny written among the stars. I was not a hero. I was not a diplomat. I was barely important enough to be noticed. I was a systems engineer assigned to the outer docking rings of Velmora Station, a massive trade hub floating between 3-star systems. My job was simple: keep ships running, repair what broke, and stay out of politics. Especially alien politics. That rule lasted until the day the royal vessel of the Aurelian Empire arrived unannounced. The station went silent the moment her ship emerged from hyperspace. Sleek, obsidian black, etched with glowing gold sigils that shifted like living symbols. No Aurelian ship ever docked without weeks of negotiation. This one arrived as if it owned the void itself. Security alarms blared. Docking clamps locked into place automatically. And every technician, including me, was ordered to report for inspection duty. That was when I saw her. She stepped from the ship surrounded by guards clad in crystalline armor. She was tall, impossibly graceful, her skin a soft luminescent silver that reflected the station lights like moonlight on water. Her eyes, those eyes, were deep violet, threaded with faint rings of gold that pulsed slowly, like a living constellation. She was young by Aurelian standards, but carried herself with an authority that bent the air around her. Princess Celera of the Aurelian Empire. I knew the name because everyone did. The Aurelians were ancient, powerful, and bound by laws so old that even their historians debated their origins. Their royalty was not symbolic, it was sacred. I should have looked away. Instead, our eyes met. The universe seemed to pause. I felt it first as pressure behind my eyes, then a strange warmth spreading through my chest. Her pupils dilated. The golden rings within her eyes flared brightly, and the station lights flickered. Gasps echoed across the docking bay. The princess stopped walking. Her guards froze. And then, in flawless galactic common, she spoke words that would shatter my life. "By the ancient covenant," she said calmly, her gaze never leaving mine, "I have seen him. This human is bound to me." Murmurs exploded across the bay. Weapons were raised. Security shouted orders. I stood there, frozen, heart pounding. Bound. Before I could speak or faint, Princess Celera turned fully toward me and continued, her voice carrying absolute certainty. "I claim him as my future king." The law of the gaze. I didn't understand what was happening. No one bothered explaining before I was escorted, no, seized, by Aurelian guards and brought aboard the royal vessel. I expected interrogation, prison, execution. Instead, I was placed in a chamber larger than my entire apartment, walls glowing with soft starlight. Servants brought food I couldn't pronounce and clothing that adjusted itself to my size. Hours later, the princess arrived alone. Up close, she was even more overwhelming. Not just beautiful, but powerful, ancient, and terrifying in a quiet way. "I'm sorry," she said, genuinely. "This was not how I wished it to happen." I swallowed. "You claimed me in front of everyone." She nodded. "I did." "Why?" She gestured, and a holographic projection formed between us, an ancient Aurelian text. Symbols spiraled slowly. "The law of the gaze," she explained. "When an Aurelian royal locks eyes with another being, and the sign awakens, destiny is confirmed. It has happened only 7 times in our recorded history." My stomach dropped. "Confirmed what destiny?" Her voice softened. "That the one seen is the royal's bonded counterpart. A ruler beside the throne." I laughed nervously. "That's impossible. I'm human. I fix docking clamps." "And yet," she said gently, "the sign awakened." She stepped closer. I felt that warmth again, stronger now. I do not choose lightly, she continued. But our laws do not permit refusal. Once declared, the bond must be honored, or the empire fractures. So I don't get a choice. Her expression tightened. You do. But refusal would bring consequences you cannot imagine. Civil war. Religious schism. Billions affected. I stared at her, realization sinking in. One look. That was all it took. A crown I never wanted. Over the following days, I learned what it meant to be claimed by an alien princess. I was examined by scholars, tested by priests, scanned by machines older than Earth's first cities. They searched for deception, manipulation, psychic interference. They found none. Instead, they found resonance. My neural patterns synced unusually well with Aurelian technology. Ancient systems responded to my presence. Doors opened faster. Interfaces adapted. The elders whispered among themselves. The bond is authentic, they concluded. The human is compatible. Compatible. Princess Celera visited me often. Not as a ruler, but as a person. She explained her world, how Aurelians were guided by destiny not as superstition, but as biological truth. Their royal bloodlines were attuned to cosmic signals humanity could not perceive. When I looked at you, she said quietly one evening, I felt calm. As if the endless weight I carry finally balanced. I didn't know what to say to that. I missed Earth. I missed anonymity. I missed being ordinary. But as days passed, I also saw the empire's fragility. Political factions questioning the bond. Rival houses preparing challenges. Enemies watching closely. If I walked away, chaos would follow. If I stayed, I would lose myself. The choice crushed me. Trial of the future king. Aurelian law demanded a trial. Not of combat, but of character. I was brought before the celestial court, a vast chamber orbiting a dying star. Elders floated in levitating thrones, their eyes glowing with ancient awareness. You are human, one intoned. Why should you stand beside our princess? I answered honestly. I shouldn't, I said. I don't want power. I don't want a crown. But I won't abandon someone just because fate is inconvenient. The chamber fell silent. Another elder spoke. If war comes because of you, will you bear the guilt? I met their gaze. If peace comes because I stayed, will you deny that? The star outside pulsed brighter. Princess Celera stood beside me, hands clenched. After a long silence, the eldest elder rose. The bond stands, he declared. Not because of destiny alone, but because the human understands sacrifice. Cheers erupted. Protests followed. The decision was final. Choosing each other. That night, Celera and I stood overlooking her world, vast cities glowing beneath aurora-filled skies. I never meant to trap you, she said softly. I exhaled. You didn't. Fate did. She looked at me, vulnerable now. Will you stay? I thought of my old life. My small apartment. My quiet routines. Then I thought of the billions who would live or die based on what we did next. I'll stay, I said. But not because of law. Because I choose to. Her eyes shimmered. She reached out, resting her forehead against mine, a sacred Aurelian gesture. Then you are not claimed, she whispered. You are chosen. A king among the stars. Years later, history would record the moment differently. They would say a human rose to become king consort of the Aurelian Empire. That he reformed ancient laws, bridged worlds, and ended wars before they began. They would tell legends of the day destiny looked twice and changed. But I would remember it more simply. As the moment I locked eyes with an alien princess. And chose to become more than I ever imagined.